time no see. I know I've been putting out videos, but I haven't actually sat down and did a sit down video in a while. I also wanted to say a quick thank you to all of the new subscribers. I think I hit 1,000 subscribers a couple weeks ago, and this channel is very, very close to being able to be monetized, which would be an amazing help and blessing, especially now in these really uncertain times where people are not working and it's just really uncertain. And if I could have another avenue of income from this channel, that would really help my family out. So I'm really excited for what's to come for this channel in this year, because I've got plenty of free time to film videos for you guys. So today's video is one that has been requested since a lot of people have been viewing my sourdough videos. So if you haven't seen any of my sourdough videos, I would start there, because honestly you can't make this recipe if you don't have the sourdough discard. So I will leave a link to my playlist. I have quite a few sourdough videos. Today's recipe is going to be for a sourdough discard pancake recipe. This pancake recipe is dairy-free and refined sugar-free. The only sugar in this recipe is 1 tablespoon of maple syrup or honey, and you could honestly completely omit that if you want them to be completely sugar-free. So I think that's everything I wanted to say before we get started. So let's hop into the recipe. So the first step is to combine 1 cup of milk with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. This comes out to about half of a lemon squeezed, usually, if it's a nice sized lemon. The lemon juice is optional, however, it gives a really good flavor to these pancakes. So I usually just combine this in a small measuring cup and then leave it off to the side, let it sit for a little. Meanwhile, while my almond milk and lemon juice mixture is sitting off to the side, I will mix the dry ingredients. So all of the dry ingredients are going to include 1 to 1.5 cups all-purpose flour. I personally like to use Jovial Foods einkorn flour for a lot of my baking recipes where flour is kind of the main ingredient. I say 1 to 1.5 cups because I usually start with 1 cup and then I have half a cup extra off to the side if I need it at the end to thicken the batter to the right consistency. Next, you're going to need 1 tablespoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt, which is about 1/4 to half a teaspoon of salt. Then you're going to just thoroughly whisk all of those ingredients together. Once all the dry ingredients are mixed thoroughly, it's time to add all of the wet ingredients straight into the bowl. I really like this recipe because it's easy and it's just a 1 bowl recipe, no need to dirty extra dishes. So to the flour mixture, this is when you're going to add your half a cup of sourdough discard. Then you're going to add 2 eggs, your cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, 3 tablespoons of melted butter. Personally, I use Earth Balance butter or any other vegan spread that I can get my hands on. You can use real butter in this recipe, but because I want to keep this dairy-free, I like to use a dairy-free butter alternative. And then lastly, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is also optional. If you don't have any vanilla, you can totally make these pancakes and they're still going to taste good. So after you add all of the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, you're going to want to mix thoroughly to combine. Try to get out as many lumps of flour as you can, and then you're going to want to test for consistency. The best way I can explain this is when you lift your whisk out of the batter, it should stay a little bit on the top for just like 1 or 2 seconds. It shouldn't just drip straight down into the batter. It should kind of leave a little bump at the top when it drips down, if that makes sense. I included a video clip so you could kind of see what I mean. After you have your batter thoroughly mixed, this is the most important and crucial step when making pancakes. Let your batter sit. This is probably one of the main reasons why the first pancake always turns out as a flop, because once you make the first one, your batter has been sitting for a while, and then once you go to make the second one, it's always better because you have to let your pancake batter sit. This gives the pancake batter time to thicken up even more and just create a better pancake overall. I let mine sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes I'm in a hurry and I'll only do 5, sometimes I'll do 10, and while I'm letting it sit, I like to heat up my griddle. I have just a very small griddle. You can do this recipe in a frying pan, a cast iron, a griddle, a bigger griddle, whatever you want to use, you can use to make these pancakes. Once your griddle is hot, you can tell if you just hold your hand not on the griddle but above the griddle, right above the top of the griddle. If you can feel the heat coming off and it feels nice and hot, you're ready to go. These pancakes cook up pretty fast because they are a bit of a thinner consistency pancake. Two-ish minutes on each side, 2 to 3 minutes depending on how hot your griddle is and how hot your stove is. So 2 to 3 minutes on each side just until they're golden brown. Flip them over, let them cool on a plate. Because this recipe makes extras, I just put them in a container. I let the container sit on my counter until they've cooled off, and then I stick the container in the fridge. These are super easy to reheat in the morning by just popping them in a toaster oven like you would a frozen pancake. I wouldn't freeze them just because they're so thin, they're probably going to break or rip if you try to defrost them. They're great for snacks, they're great for kids' school lunches, anything you want to use them for. And they don't have a super sour taste to them. That was something I tried out a few actual sourdough pancakes and I just couldn't get over the sour taste. I wanted something that was still going to taste like breakfast food, and for me that sour taste just didn't do it for me. So by using sourdough discard and not actual sourdough starter, they taste much more milder, and I think kids would enjoy them a lot more. So that's pretty much it for this recipe. Like I said, I'll leave the detailed instructions down below so you can copy it down on a piece of paper, whatever you'd like to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss when I post a new video. And I will see you guys in my next one.